Hello and welcome to Passion Sports Matchday Preview. January should be a fun month with all the transfer speculation and the chase of the title of best of the rest, as well as the battle for the Champions League spot. And with the league being as tight as it is, any team that puts in a run of about 7 wins in 10 games could be in with a shout of top 4. This week we take a look at Manchester City versus Everton, Liverpool versus Sheffield United, and in our premier clash we see two teams who are firmly entrenched in the midfield pack, which sees 5th place and 15th place separated by just 9 points. It is Arsenal versus Manchester United. After years of being the clash that decided the fate of the Premier League title, this is now a mid-table clash featuring the team in 5th and in 12th. Despite its diminished importance in terms of the Premier League title, this obviously is one of the most eagerly awaited fixtures of the Premier League season. And no doubt pride is at stake for both these sides. With Arsenal's managerial change, their intensity is back and there will be no pushovers for Manchester United. And the Gunners responded as their match against Chelsea saw the first time that they took a half-time lead in 9 games. But they were unable to hold on, which saw their woeful run extend to just 7 points captured from the last 24 available. And in Manchester United, they face a side that just seems to show up against the big teams. And Manchester United have claimed 11 points out of 15 against fellow Big Six opposition. Arsenal though can take solace as they held Manchester United to a draw at Old Trafford earlier in the season. David De Gea's clean sheet in the last match was his first in 15 games. But it came against a side which have struggled to register shots on target. Nevertheless, it should hold him in good stead against Arsenal and increase his confidence as he'll get a lot more saves to make than he did against Burnley. Arsenal's main threat will be on the left, with Aubameyang coming up against Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and this should be a treat to watch, as Wan-Bissaka has been the rock in United's backline, and getting past him will need something absolutely special. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that Scott McTominay, who has sustained a knee injury, will be out for at least 3 to 4 weeks, which is unfortunate as Manchester United never get to feel their best 11 at the same time. When one gets back from injury, the other is out injured. So expect the onus on stopping Arsenal's creative players to fall to Fred and to some extent Paul Pogba, who would be expected to start this game after being omitted from the matchday squad in their last fixture. I've been saying this for the last 2 episodes that Pogba is going to start, but a clash against a Big Six opposition would require your most expensive player to take the field, and if he doesn't start and they give the excuse that he's injured again, it's just like obvious that he's going to be transferred out. Moving back to Arsenal's creative players, it will be a tough task for the defensive midfielders of Manchester United as Mesut Ozil seems to have rediscovered the form which saw him labelled as Ozist when he arrived at North London, and if he's in the mood, he will create a lot of chances from open play. And Arsenal would have a lot of the ball as they are playing at home. This will be tough for Manchester United. Arsenal have just 1 clean sheet in their last 12 games, and with knocks to Callum Chambers and Socrates, they will need 90 minutes of brilliance from Mustafi and David Luiz. Now these two, in their last game against Chelsea, allowed Tabby Abraham to run at them, and they in fact even turned. And doing this against Manchester United would be suicidal, for Manchester United will offer blistering pace on the counter. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta would surely make plans to stop this, as he would not have forgotten the way Manchester City were torn apart by United in the first half hour of the Manchester derby when he served the Blues as first team coach. Expect Marcus Rashford to score, and he should be an ideal pick for fantasy Premier League players as he is in blistering form and scored 19 goals all season. Other good picks include Anthony Martial and Daniel James, who have been amongst the goals and assists on a frequent basis. This is again an away game for Manchester United, and the crowd at the Emirates will be absolutely hostile. Expect Manchester United to be clinical on the counter. Expect a Manchester United win, but there would be no clean sheet for goalkeeper David De Gea. Next up is Liverpool versus Sheffield United. VAR drama came to the fore as Liverpool beat Wolves, but it seemed that they were just sauntering along rather than going for it, as they did in their 4-0 demolition of Leicester City. In Sheffield United, they face a side who has lost just one in their last 10 away games in the Premier League. The fitness of FPL favourite John Lundstram will prove crucial to Sheffield's chances at Anfield. Now, going back to Sheffield United's away form, well, their one away loss came in their last game against Manchester City at the Etihad, where they were unable to punish a lackluster City. Now, lackluster by City standards, City were quite good for a normal team. And at Anfield, they'll face a severe challenge as they come up against Liverpool's marauding front three of Firmino, Mane and Salah. Sadio Mane would be the most likely candidate to miss out or get subbed off, as he has played every single minute of the festive fixtures. Sheffield United, who have been overachieving since their return to the top flight, would obviously have avoided their primary goal of not getting relegated at the end of the season, and they should go for it as they have nothing to lose, and maybe just consider this match, whatever the result, a loss or a draw, as a minor blip in the road in their quest for qualification to the Europa League spots. Now, good fantasy picks in this tie. Okay, let me just say it. It's going to be Firmino, Salah, Mane, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I doubt there's any single Premier League manager who doesn't have at least one of these guys in their lineups. Don't risk taking anyone from Sheffield United, as though they are a high-flying, spirited side. It is highly improbable that they will derail Liverpool, who seem to be heading for an invincibles of their own. Next up is Manchester City versus Everton. Now, Everton have turned over a new leaf, and under new management they look completely different from the side that began the month in the relegation zone. Under manager Carlo Ancelotti, they have won 2 out of 2 games, and striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin has found his scoring boots, scoring thrice in last 2 games. Wolves showed that Manchester City are not comfortable with teams that come out and attack them, and this is evident with the blue side of Manchester having lost 5 games all season against sides that have come out and played against them. Manchester City struggled to beat Sheffield United, and with Moise Kean, Richarlison and Gylfi Sigurdsson all in their groove, expect Everton under Carlo Ancelotti to do the same and heap the pressure on Manchester City, who look clueless and lackluster against Sheffield United. Manchester City's defence will be boosted by the return of Nicolas Otamendi, who was rested against Sheffield. They will also see the return of Ederson, who served his 1-game suspension, but still their defence looks very brittle without Aymeric Laporte, and this game against Everton would surely be a chance for Pep Guardiola to test his brittle defence one last time before taking a call on whether yes or no would be his call to enter the transfer market to shop for a defender. Manchester City aren't as convincing as they were for the last 2 seasons, and they are up for the taking. So I'm going for an Everton win on this one. That's all for the final episode of 2020, and from all of us here at Passion Sport, Happy New Year!